A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a surprising turn of events, President Donald Trump has signed a bill that mandates the Department of Justice, DOJ, to release its investigation files related to the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. This decision comes after months of opposition from Trump himself, who initially described the push for transparency as a Democrat hoax. However, as support for the legislation grew within Congress, Trump reversed his stance and urged Republicans to back the bill. The legislation, which received overwhelming bipartisan support, requires the DOJ to disclose all unclassified documents regarding Epstein's case within 30 days. In a lengthy post on his social media platform, Truth Social, Trump claimed credit for the bill's passage, asserting that the scrutiny surrounding the Epstein files was a distraction intended to undermine his administration's achievements. He stated, "Democrats have used the Epstein issue, which affects them far more than the Republican Party, in order to try and distract from our amazing victories." This statement reflects the ongoing narrative from Trump and his allies that the Epstein files could potentially implicate several Democratic figures. The controversy surrounding Epstein has been a significant issue in American politics, especially following the conviction of Ghislaine Maxwell, who was found guilty of aiding Epstein in the sexual abuse of underage girls. Survivors of Epstein's abuse have long sought transparency regarding the investigation, and the passage of this bill has been met with applause from advocates and survivors alike. Maria Farmer, a survivor who accused Epstein of assault and testified against Maxwell, expressed her gratitude for the bill's passage. "I have waited nearly 3 decades for answers about how my reports of abuse at the hands of Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell were investigated by federal authorities," Farmer stated. "After being left in the dark for decades, having my repeated calls for transparency and action ignored, and living through nearly 5 administrations that turned a blind eye to this enormous travesty of justice, Congress finally listened to survivors." Despite the bill's passage, concerns have been raised regarding the potential implications of releasing the files. House Speaker Mike Johnson and other Republicans have cautioned that the bill could compel the release of sensitive information that may implicate innocent individuals. However, the Senate passed the legislation unanimously, leaving little room for debate or amendments. As the DOJ prepares to comply with the new law, Attorney General Pam Bondi emphasized that the department would adhere to the law while ensuring the protection of victims and providing maximum transparency. The fallout from this legislation has sparked a significant rift within the Trump administration and among his supporters, particularly after the DOJ issued a memo in July stating that Epstein had died by suicide in custody and that there was no evidence of a client list. The release of the Epstein files could have far-reaching consequences, especially as it pertains to high-profile individuals connected to Epstein, including former Treasury Secretary Larry Summers. Following the revelation of emails indicating his friendly contact with Epstein, Summers announced he would take a leave of absence from his teaching position at Harvard University, further highlighting the ongoing implications of the Epstein case. As the nation watches closely, the release of the Epstein files is poised to reveal new information that could potentially alter the political landscape. The intersection of politics, justice, and accountability remains a pressing issue as the fallout from this case continues to unfold. The implications of this legislation will likely resonate far beyond the immediate release of documents, as survivors and advocates continue to push for transparency and justice in the wake of Epstein's crimes. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.